Citizenship. Us as college students often find it challenging to incorporate the big idea of citizenship into our lives at school, home, and among friends. For many Americans, it's just casting a ballot during the election year, but it is much more than that. So let's look at it through the lens of the social change model. Within the social change model, citizenship centers around an active community participation as a result of a sense of responsibility to the communities in which people live. Now, citizenship is not a one-dimensional idea. It has different levels, a larger level and a smaller community, but both require a different C, caring about others. It's ideas like this that create bigger and better things. Take a look around you. Hospitals, churches, schools, and entertainment. It was all created because of someone in history that showed great citizenship. Turgenev believed that creating buildings was the key to making a democratic society work. People saw the need through active community participation and were able to improve their community. Democracy was created with the need for citizens to be active and show their citizenship. We need to be aware of our impact on a larger community, whether this be the impact on our floor, campus, or country. We need to be aware of how our actions impact others and make sure that they are positive impacts. You may think that not throwing away your garbage and just putting it on the ground is no big deal, but think about how it may impact other people's lives. Someone has to pick it up.
So as we've learned, citizenship is about active participation in your community. It involves working with and for your community. But what exactly does community entail? We are part of many communities with varying experiences and worldviews. As political scientist Melissa Williams said, "There is not simply one place where one is supposed to engage in citizenship. A community is basically any group of people sharing a defining link. The link can be geographical, but also ethnic or cultural. Within the community, there can be differing opinions and perspectives. It is important to remember that while members of a community must connect in some important way, they don't need to connect in the same way. Citizenship has to do with how you engage in your community. The most commonly thought of way to engage is politically, through voting and campaigns. But some other ways to engage are direct service, like tutoring or volunteering at soup kitchens, community research, learning about social problems and assets in your community, advocacy and education, which involves raising community awareness through methods like petitions and public speeches, capacity building, working to give everyone in the community a say on the current assets and how to fix any problems, socially responsible personal and professional behavior, basically just being an accountable person, philanthropic giving, like donating and participating in fundraising, and participation in associations. This can be joining anything from a sports league to a church choir.
What does engaging in citizenship look like? A community with social capital is a community that has citizens who work together and socialize together. They know how everyone works, and they ultimately trust each other. They are people who go to public meetings and rallies for their community. Robert Putnam talks about the concept of bonding and bridging. Bonding, it refers to social networks or exclusive groups of people. Examples of this can be book clubs or student organizations where they're a great source of strength and support. Bridging refers to diversity. It brings students with all different backgrounds together to get a project done. Example of social capital can be found on college campuses, such as residence halls. Our learning community is an example of bonding and bridging because we are vibrant and often interact with each other. Sometimes citizenship isn't always going to meetings and rallies, but about keeping up to date on issues within the community. You can do this by reading the newspaper. It is also important to know the history of your community to fully understand why things are the way they are now.
According to Japanese educator and Buddhist Sunasubaro, a global citizen is identified by 3 levels. There's a local one, a national one, and a global community. As an individual grows, the sphere of what an individual experiences at a local scale expands to a national, then global one. An example of this can be compared to when a student first moves into a residence hall. A student may love the feeling of moving into his hall so much that he wants everyone else to experience this. He then becomes an RA of a residence hall. The student may then sign up to be on the orientation staff, offering his advice and experiences to international students. At the local level, he built up a feeling of happiness when moving into the hall. Individuals play a huge role in global citizenship because they impact others on the local and national scale. Examples of this is boycotting and boycotting. Boycotting is when individuals intentionally buy products that share the consumer's social and political values. This is like when you buy Tom's shoes because you support their buy one give one. Boycotting is when consumers don't buy products since they don't like the way it is made or provided. An example of boycotting is like a consumer who won't buy Nikes because they're made in sweatshops. Technology shifts students' citizenship focus from local to global and global to local on a regular basis. It does this by the internet. When Prop 8 was being debated in the Supreme Court, those who supported gay rights changed their profile picture to the equal sign. This is a forum for supporters to express their opinions.
The social change model of leadership development connects the individual, groups, and societal C's. Focusing on citizens strengthens the other C's. Therefore, experience with citizenship challenges people to make choices that clarify their commitments and values through consciousness of self, examine whether their choices are congruent with their beliefs. In terms of group level C's, participation in the community helps with collaboration with others and reaching a common purpose and learning to work through controversy with civility. The main goal of the social change model is, change. In order to achieve this, one must step out of their comfort zone. One must understand oneself and others, and we can accomplish this through understanding citizenship. Citizenship ranges from community building to working towards a shared fate to embracing multiculturalism to supporting global interconnectedness. Citizenship is visualized in the concentric circles, with the small circle representing the individual, then the group, then the larger institution, and the largest representing the society. Ultimately, ideal citizenship intersects all the circles.